What I'm most concerned about is I'm concerned about the residents of our community, that this project really works for them.
A downtown parking lot could soon turn into one of the tallest buildings in East Lansing. A developer is proposing a 13-story mixed-use building at 530 Albert Avenue, which would replace the current parking lot there. Now, this development would bring more housing near the campus of Michigan State University, but not everyone's convinced it's the right fit. News 10's Rachel Fulton joins us now live in studio with those concerns.
Yeah, good evening, Ann. Tonight, the council held a public hearing to hear from residents and businesses before making a decision. This proposed building would add more than 200 units of living space on an already busy corridor. People who live in East Lansing year-round say they are worried about how a building this tall and the loss of convenient parking could affect the community.
A 13-story building at this location would significantly alter the character and scale of this area in ways that deserve serious reconsideration.
Danita Brandt has lived in East Lansing for over 35 years, and soon change could be coming to her backyard. This parking lot off Bailey Street and Albert Avenue could be replaced with a 13-story mixed-use building.
We see it as providing a lot of economic impact as well, too. So, the businesses struggle a lot, especially when we're right now spring break and the winter and stuff like that. So having that additional income throughout the year will help do that better that process.
During Tuesday night's city council meeting, several residents questioned how the project could impact everyday problems.
Grand River already experiences congestion, particularly during peak university hours and special events. Adding hundreds of additional residents in a single high-density project will increase pressure on roads, parking, utilities, and public services.
Council members and residents have also brought up concerns about taxes and city resources tied to the project.
The DDA captures all the taxes except for the state education board as well as the operating school district. And so that captures just under 70% of the taxes. So we assume it'll be about just over $1 million.
Residents say they are not against new housing, but they are asking city leaders to consider whether a small project could better fit the neighborhood.
Could a mid-rise development achieve housing goals without dramatically changing the skyline?
For the project to move forward, City Council would need to approve a special use permit, allowing the building to exceed the city's typical 8-story height limit. And back to you at the desk.
Rachel, thank you. City council members are expected to discuss the proposal on March 10th. They could then vote on whether to approve the development during their meeting the following week. Well, here's a time lapse of